Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do the mid-year Freakout book tag. So once again, welcome back. I am so happy you decided to click on this video. So like I said, today I'm going to do the mid-year Freakout book tag, which I've seen so many other people do and I've seen people do in previous years, and so I figured why not join in? So I am pretty excited about this because I do feel like I've already forgotten some of the books that I've read back in like January and February. So this is definitely giving me a chance to kind of like revisit those, and I'm excited to talk about some of them again. So let's just get into it. The first question is best book you've read so far this year, and based on my like just fangirling, I'm sure this will come as no surprise, but my answer is Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. This was just such a powerful story that is still resonating with me and I still think about constantly. It's just such a great book and it's still getting rave reviews, so I'm very happy that other people are enjoying it as much as I did. The other answer for this question is Symphony of Secrets by Brendan Slocum, which I just read not too long ago and talked about a musician and composer who has studied this famous composer's work for his like an entire career, and he is like brought into the foundation that this man left behind to rework this like piece of music that was assumed to be like long gone, and in so he finds out that maybe he wasn't actually the one writing the music. It was being written by a Black woman who was kind of written out of history. So it was incredible. There's so much heart in his books, so much to love, and it was a perfect follow-up to his last book, The Violent Conspiracy, which was equally as fantastic. The next question is best sequel that you've read this year. So I don't really read a lot of series, so this was kind of a tough one for me because I've only read 2 books that have been sequels. So I have to go with Hard Dough Homicide by Olivia Matthews. This is the second book in the Spice Isle Bakery series. It's a cozy mystery, and I didn't even really like it that much. I think I gave it 3 stars. So I did like it, but it was just, I liked the first one a lot more. The only other sequel I read was Dark Corners by Megan Golden, which I think I really ripped apart, so didn't want to put that on the list. The third question is new releases that you want to read but haven't yet. And for me, I put Big Gay Wedding by Byron Lane and The Whispers by Ashley Audrain. These are both books that I have had on my radar since I heard of them, but I haven't read either. And I'm actually working on a vlog currently where I read my book of the month picks for June, and The Whispers is one of them, so I'm hoping that it will be done soon. And Big Gay Wedding just sounds so cute, so I'm excited about that. It is exactly what it sounds like, these 2 men getting married and like their families and shenanigans, and it just sounds great. And the author is actually married to Stephen Rowley, who wrote The Guncle and The Celebrants that just came out, so that's kind of a fun little fact, but those are the 2 that I hope to get to soon. The fourth question is my most anticipated read for the rest of the year. Again, I couldn't pick just one, I picked 2. First is Holly by Stephen King. This is about Holly Gibney, who is like one of his most beloved characters at this point. She's been in at least like 4 or 5 of his books, 4 books and a novella, so I'm just really excited because she's a really interesting character, and I'm excited to see what it's about in her own story, because in other books she's been more of a side character. Mainly the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, the Bill Hodges trilogy, she's featured in. That was where she like first made an appearance, and then she was in The Outsider and in the novella If It Bleeds. So she's been around. I'm pretty sure that's all of them. I might have missed one, like a novella or short story, but I'm very excited for her to have her own book because she's a character I really enjoy. And I'm just excited about that. And then the other one is Rain by Catherine McGee, which is the 4th book in the American Royal series. It's a young adult series that's about what if America had a monarchy. Instead of George Washington becoming the first president, he became the first king. And it's young adult, it's fun, It's just drama-filled, gossipy, and I love that series so much, so I'm very excited for the next one. My biggest disappointment is Dark Corners by Megan Golden. This was a sequel to The Night Swim, but it was just not anywhere near as good, and it definitely didn't even feel like I was reading about the same characters. I did speak about this earlier, so I won't bore you too much, but it didn't feel like I was reading the same character, even though that's what we were doing. It felt like Megan Golden wrote this book, and then somebody told her, you should make this into a sequel for The Night Swim, and so she just like tweaked a few things, because it didn't work for me. And I loved The Night Swim so much, but I also hated Stay Awake, which was another book that she wrote in between these two, and so now I'm like, do I even like her writing? Because The Night Swim is one of my favorite thrillers of all time, and so it's kind of a bummer that I didn't like this one, so that was a big disappointment. The next question is your biggest surprise, and for me, that is Against the Current by Olivia Matthews. So this is the first book in the Spice Isle Bakery Cozy Mystery series, and this was a big surprise for me because I've never really read cozy mysteries, and I probably still won't read that many of them. It's just not a genre I gravitate towards. But I loved this book. It was so much fun. I loved the family. It was just a great time. And like I said, I did already read the second one as well. And while it wasn't a favorite, I will definitely still read the series because like cozy mysteries are short and quick enough that I don't feel like I'm wasting a ton of time if I end up not liking it. And I think that like there's a lot to be said about her writing and just the family experience. I did listen to the audiobook of Against the Current, and I read the physical copy of Hard Dough Homicide, so I'm kind of wondering if maybe that had something to do with it, if I just prefer cozy mysteries on audiobook. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to continue the series, and it was definitely a surprise that I liked a cozy so much. Favorite new author is the next question, and this was like kind of hard because I feel like I've read a lot of books by established authors and authors that I've read books from. So my answer to this is Irene Muchemi Nduritu. I'm sorry if that's wrong. I really try to make it a point to make sure I'm pronouncing people's names correctly. But this was a tough one for me. Anyways, she is the author of Lucky Girl, which is a book that came out I think back in May or April, and I adored. It was a debut about a woman from Kenya who comes to the United States for college and is kind of the first time that she's not under her mother's watchful eye, and she has several aunties that are also always kind of in her business, and she's away from home for the first time and just kind of like adjusting to the culture shock, and it was just overall a fantastic book. It was so interesting. I loved the social kind of commentary on racial issues and how like Blackness is presented so differently when you're in Africa versus the United States. So it was just so good, and I cannot wait to see what this author does next. The next question is your newest fictional crush. I don't really know what to answer this because I don't read a lot of romance or any, I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with an answer, but I did end up picking Jude Stark from Someone Just Like You by Meredith Shore, which isn't actually out yet, but I did read an ARC copy, and it is a cute rom-com, and I really liked it, so I just went with him. He's definitely a great hero for a romance. Yeah, he was fun. He was cute. Newest favorite character is the next question, and this was also hard because there's a lot that I have really enjoyed reading about, but I don't think any that I've felt a personal connection to. But I will say Dom from The Gay Best Friend by Nicholas DiDemizio. He just felt so real. He felt like a real, tangible character, and I just really enjoyed this book. Really, I loved this book. It was fantastic. It's probably going to be on my favorite books of the year when we get to that point. But yeah, it was fantastic. He was just such a, sweet, genuine character. I loved it. Book that made you cry is the next question, and I don't really cry at books or in life very often. I'm just not a crier, but I had to go with Adelaide. again by Genevieve Wheeler, because this book was just so emotional. If any book was gonna make me cry that I read this year, it would have been that one. It just like, oh, broke my heart. So that would definitely be my answer. I can't even think of any that like made me feel like that sad other than that, but definitely Adelaide. The next one is a book that made you happy, and this was an easy one. I picked Nothing to See Here by Kevin Wilson. This was just such a like fun, sweet, like lighthearted book that I just adored. This one is about the kids that catch on fire when they get angry or agitated, and I just had such a fun time reading this. It was such a sweet story, just about like kind of found family and just like a band of kind of misfits of sorts, and it was just, I just loved it. It made me so happy, and my mom loved it too, so that was really, I love when we can talk about books and I can recommend stuff to her that she loves as much as I do, so that was definitely a good one. Sorry if the camera's in a different spot now. I had to change the battery, so it might be a little bit different than it was, in case you had a question. So the next question is the most beautiful book you have acquired this year. I wasn't 100% sure if this was like the cover. I guess I could have just watched more videos to find out, but anyways, the most beautiful cover that I've acquired is once again Adelaide by Genevieve Wheeler. It's just so pretty. Like, I would get this cover tattooed on my body. I have a very similar tattoo actually with the flowers coming out of a book. Just pretend that's not there. Very like similar flower style to the cover, and I just love it. It's so gorgeous. The next question is, what books would you like to read before the end of the year? And I don't really have any like specific books. Well, I guess I do. I would like to catch up on my book of the month books. I currently have 7 that are unread, and I would like to finish them and unhaul them if necessary. They're just taking up space, so I would like to finish those. And also there's some that I've been like very excited to read, and I just wasn't in the mood for them when they first kind of got to my house, and so plenty of them I'm looking forward to. I have The Queen of Thieves, True Biz, You Are Not Alone, Love and Other Disasters, Someday Maybe, and People We Meet on Vacation. So some of these I've had for quite a while, and I am definitely hoping to get to them all by the end of the year. Oh, also The Wishing Game. The Wishing Game. That was just from this month, so I am actually going to read that soon. So yeah, I would like to finish all of those. There might be another one in my bedroom that I have. I think there's 7. Counting's hard. And the last question is content creators that you've been loving lately. And I watch like a decent amount of BookTube. That is definitely something I like to go to for like background noise. And I've been trying different people. I mean, I've watched Gabby Reads for a while, and Olivia Reads a Latte. I really like their styles, but some of the smaller creators that I've found while also being like a super small creator are Jordan from Sorry Booked Solid. I really like her vlogs. I really like her commentary on books. I just really enjoy watching her videos. Allie from Allie All I Do Is Read. It's a cute way that she has it like capitalized, and yeah. But she is hilarious. I love watching her videos. She's just so funny, and her videos are a lot of fun to watch. I don't actually read much of the same styles that she reads, but I just have a great time watching her content, and she always provides great commentary. And of course, Elizabeth from Reading Riley, who I really love her videos. She reads similar stuff to me. She's given me some awesome recommendations from her videos. And also she's a super nice person. I've talked to her on Instagram before, and she's like kind of given me some tips for YouTube because I am just a mess and still kind of feel like don't know what I'm doing. But she's been really helpful, kind of like with what equipment is, worth buying, when I might want to wait on if, I want to see if I stick with the YouTube thing. Like, she just was super helpful when I first got started, and I love watching her videos. So that is the mid-year Freakout book tag. Thank you so much for watching this. I really appreciate your support. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would. And I will see you in the next one.